Hello there. I hope you're having a good day. This is Faith Day. Whether it's morning, noon, or night, or it's sleepy time, nap time, wherever you are, we'll take it and we'll take you listening. Enjoy yourself, right? So today, I want to read one verse and one quote. And they're kind of similar, and I'm quite sure the person got this off of that and kind of turned it around. But the Samaritan woman, this is from my challenge, my Facebook, and it says, "Now we believe not just because of what you told us, but because we have heard him ourselves." John 4:42. It means that just because you told me something doesn't mean that it's true. I have heard it myself. I have studied it. I have listened. I've seen what's going on. I can see to hear that it's true. So I put $100 in here, and that will be for today's challenge. But like I told you before, we were put here for times just as these. Remember Esther? Lead like Esther. Perhaps you were created for such a time as this. You were created to be here for some reason. Maybe you're here to teach your family members about what's going on. Maybe you're here because you have to do a certain thing a different way. You were created to be here now. He put you here now. God put you here now. There's a reason. You may not even know the reason. You may think, I have not accomplished anything in my life. I'm not famous. I'm nothing. You are something. You're God's child. That's the first thing. You are the child of a very, 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 very wealthy man. A wealthy entity. You have a brother who has inherited that wealth. Jesus. He put you here, him and God. You were created for a time as this. And he created you so you can think. And some of you don't think, right? There's a lot of people, they don't think. They're just going through the motions. I'm here. It's never going to get better. This is the way it is. No, this is not the way it is. Okay? Because it said, now we believe, not just because of what you told us, which means you can't listen to everybody. Sometimes man says the wrong things. They do the wrong things. And sometimes they're after more power and money for themselves. And they don't care whether you got money or not. They don't care if you have clothes or not. They don't care about your kids eating. They don't care about anything. You can listen to the talk. Okay? You can listen to some of your representatives that we voted in. We're not going to do that. No, that's too much money. While you're seeing money fly out the door, we have to follow that. What you told us. I know you told us something but we got to hear it ourselves. We got to study it ourselves. We got to learn ourselves and stop being lazy. Or listening to somebody. Or pushing some young people out the way when you know they got it. Okay? Gen Z got it. There's some millennials. They got it. Gen X, they got it. There's some boomers. They got it. They're still here. You're not listening to what's going on. And there's some people that are set in their ways. And sometimes you are the one that has to be the rebel because you got it. I got it. And you don't have to explain why you got it. You don't have to tell anybody why you got it or how you got it. You just got it, right? There was a humorist, that's what they called him back. I called him comedians, but he was more, I wasn't there, but I'm assuming he was more staunch, dignified. Comedians are dignified, but things happen. But I'll continue on. Anyway, his name was Josh Billings from the 19th century, and he said, "Life consists not in holding good cards, good playing cards, but playing those cards well." God gave you a set of cards when you were sent down here. And as you got older, you had to learn to play those cards well. With kids at school, bullies, big bullies now. There's bullies running around now. You got to play your card well. Is this the best for me? Is this the best for my family? People had to play the card when they were voting. Is this the best for my family? Am I better now, or was I better 4 years ago? This was the only election that we could actually see 4 years of one person and 4 years of another person and their policies, if you voted on policy. And if you voted on something else, it may not have worked out, because that's not what you should have been playing with. You had the wrong card. It's an important card, but that card should have stayed back. And in other things, we throw out the wrong card. It's a good card, but you played it at the wrong time, and it didn't work. You lost, or you almost won. And there's other good cards that God gave you. They can be anything, okay? It could be a mortgage. You got to play the card with the mortgage, okay? Or even when you were buying the house, you play that game. I'm going to pay this much, I'm not going to pay that much. Then when you get the mortgage, you got to play the good card. Are you going to pay it off and sit there for 30 years? Or are you going to start paying on the principal from day one? The first payment, we're adding $400 to the principal. I'm going to work my butt off. You're playing one of your cards because you told yourself, I'm not sitting here 30 years. I'm not sitting here 15 years. I'm not doing it. I'm going to make my own mortgage. Okay? I'm going to play the card with the mortgage company. I'm going to play the card with my credit cards. I'm not sitting here with my credit card and you're telling me you got maybe a $500 credit card, right? And they tell you in the small print that you didn't read because, see, you didn't play your card, right? Okay? That this card, if you keep paying the minimum, you're going to be paying $900 extra back. But you only got a $500 credit card. You didn't play your card. Okay? You should have, before you even signed up for the credit card, you should have been looking at the terms and conditions. And we didn't, right? That card is out the wazoo. Look at the interest rate. How come everybody else's interest rate is low? Why do we have to keep taking this card? Or maybe we take one card and build our credit up. We got to play the game and leave the other cards alone until we can get a good one. Play the card right. We got to play the card right with our kids. One kid may, they about spaz you out. You got to play your card right. And each kid is not the same. You got to play them different. Okay? Little boo-boo is not little Baba over there, okay? Little Baba is all cute and everything, and then little boo-boo is spazzing out and going crazy. Play the card. You got to find out what is wrong, or how to handle and do so that child comes out okay. And you might be tired playing that card, but it's a reward if you play it right. Some of you have went through things, like I said, you tell your kids, your family, what you went through. And now you playing that card. I'm playing that card. I'm not going to be like my mom and dad were. I'm going to play the card. I'm not going to be poor like I was. I'm playing the card. I'm learning about investing. I'm learning about, if I don't want to invest, I'm learning about saving my money. I'm playing the card. I'm going to have a house one day or a nice apartment. I'm playing the card. Whatever you do, you're always playing a card. You're playing a card if you decide you're going to go get a dog. I want a new dog. You're playing the card. How much money are you going to spend on the dog? Do you have ample time to take care of the dog? You're playing your cards. And you have to play them well because things can happen. It's not a game of chance. It's a game of wisdom and thought. And we have to research. You just don't go like some people do. They just buy any dog unless you fell in love with it at the beginning. You know, you may go to the animal shelter. You're playing the card. This dog, I think I can do this. Everything you do, you're playing a card. Everything you buy, everywhere you walk, you're playing a card. I'm playing a card and walking down this way. Maybe because there's a vicious dog that way. I have to play the card. I'm walking by myself in a dark area. You're playing the card. Okay, you may have to walk that dark area all the time. So you have to learn to play your cards. What do I do? Maybe I need to start saving up some money to get Lyft or something. Because I don't need to be walking through here at night. God gave us sense. He gave us compassion. He gave us love. The only thing that's going to stop that is greedy man wanting more money. And we have to find a way around that. We got to play our cards right. You know, when the slaves were there, they had to play their cards right. You know, I can imagine Harriet Tubman and a few others that we don't know anything about. But Harriet Tubman knew there were some slaves that would rat the other slaves out. Hey, they're leaving tonight, blah, 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 blah. Even their parents would. They didn't want their kid leaving. Maybe the kid decided, I'm going. And Harriet had to sing, steal away to Jesus, and all these little things and signals, I'm coming tonight, blah, blah, blah. She was playing her card. She could have been caught. The things they had to do to keep the babies quiet. The things they had to make so the kids would be quiet that were coming. That everybody was playing a card. And did you know even before that, there were some free men, black men that actually were voting while the slaves were there. They were free black men. But look what, they were playing their cards. Okay, I'm going to stay free. But all of a sudden, they have other things, and the fugitive slave law, some of them got caught up in it because they weren't playing their cards. They weren't paying attention. They were grabbing people. We got to play our cards, not just black people, white people, whatever. You got to play your cards right. And people aren't playing their cards right. It's called thinking. God put you here for a reason. That's what that said with Esther. Perhaps you were created for such a time as this. There's a reason he put you here. It may be so small, you don't even recognize it. You may not even know it till you get up there and you talk to him. Why was I there? Well, you remember when? If it hadn't been for you, or you may have saved somebody, okay? You might have saved somebody. You might have caused them to be still living, and you didn't really know it. You may have stopped a child from running into a street that wasn't yours. You were put here for a reason. You may have so much compassion that you want to start a business to help other people. You may have other compassions you volunteer. There's a reason you were here. And sometimes you have to think back, why and what do I do? What have I done? Some people don't know what they have done, and other people don't tell them at that moment, or you may never know. I have some YouTubers on here. I listen to you, subscribers, and I listen to stories, and it changes my perspective of certain things. You have changed people. If you changed me, you've changed somebody else. You were put here for times such as these. You got to believe it. You may not know why, but you keep playing your card right. In your finances, your life, your family, just play your card. If you got a spouse or a partner and they're good to you and you guys are in sync with each other, both of you play the card. And sometimes some marriages and things don't work. You have to play a different card. So God bless you. God keep you safe. God loves you. And so do I. See ya.